You know, kids are a big responsibility. You have to feed them and clothe them, and in return, when you shoot an enemy, they fly at them and start sucking out all their energy. Well, I don't know if all kids work that way, but that's the way it works with Child of the Old Gods, which is the focus of our build today. Let me show you what I'm talking about. Okay, so starting off here, I want to do the star of the show. It's going to be Child of the Old Gods. Now, I haven't tried this until I went into this video, and I'll tell you now, I really do like it. It's very fun. I haven't named him yet. It's my child. I haven't named them all. I'll have to get to that. Other aspect, I'm pairing that with Chaos Accelerant, so we are only going to have 3 fragment slots. I was thinking either this or Devour, but I decided I really want the focus of this build to be Area Denial. So I went with Chaos Accelerant, so we could also go with a Vortex Grenade. And when you overcharge a Vortex Grenade, it's going to get a way larger radius and a longer duration. So it's really good for blocking off doorways or entrances or whatever it may be. And then you have your Child of the Old Gods going off at enemies as well, and you can really lock down so much of the map. Now, I'm going to be doing that with an Empowering Rift. I never really tried Empowering Rifts before. I was always just using Healing Rifts, as I think they're monumental in regaining your health as quickly as possible and being able to face off with people. But an Empowering Rift, I was quite the fan. I don't think I'll run it that often, but every now and again I'll definitely throw the Empowering Rift on and have some fun with it. Now for our fragments down here, we're going to be running Echo of Expulsion, so every time we get a Void ability Final Blow, that's going to cause our target to explode. It also gives us 10 intellect, so you can't go wrong there. Then I have Echo of Remnants, so our Lingering Grenade effect, so our Vortex Grenade is going to have increased duration. That's really good, especially since we're trying to go complete map control build right here and lock down the map as long as possible. That makes our Vortex Grenade be able to close off entrances or exits or whatever it may be as long as possible for us. Finishing this off, we're going to have Echo of Leeching. So, melee final blows are going to start health regeneration for you and nearby allies. This isn't super tying into the build in any way, it's just nice to have this, so whenever we get a melee final blow, the enemy's going to explode because of Echo of Expulsion, and it's going to start our health regeneration immediately. We also get 10 resilience, so again, you can't go wrong with the raw stats. I was looking at everything else, and there was not any other fragments that I really thought super fit this, so that's why I really went with this. Along with that, we're going to be going with Nova Bomb Cataclysm, which is the old Slova Bomb. I don't know if any of you have noticed, but Slova Bomb now is not slow anymore. It zooms. It goes way faster. The tracking still looks a little sometimes, but I would definitely recommend trying this out if you haven't yet, because it's way better now. After that, I'm just going to show you Syncopation. This is the pulse rifle we're using. I'm going to show you some quick clips of this thing. It's a great pulse rifle. I have so many more to try, so many different guns to try, but I really like this. I crafted this once at level 9 right now, so you can see I used it for a good amount. And remember, you're going to get XP on your guns by getting kills with them and finishing activities. So whenever you finish a Crucible match, you're going to get a little burst of XP, so make sure you're finishing out your matches. Right now I have small bore, ricochet rounds, moving target, and rangefinder. I haven't done any of the enhanced perks yet, but I probably will in the future. It depends. I want to try other guns first because I don't want to do the enhanced traits until I really know I like a gun because they're pretty pricey. Pairing with that, we're just kind of close range, retro futurist, still my favorite shotgun in the game, so we're throwing that on. And then I have the Recurrent Impact, a really fun machine gun as my heavy gun. For our mods over here, of course, we're going to have Blink on. And so in the Astrocyte, I actually just got a new Astrocyte to drop the other day, and it's got some pretty good stat distribution. I really like this one. We have a pulse rifle targeting and a shotgun targeting. And then we have 2 pulse rifle loaders because this can be a slow reload, so with the double pulse rifle loader, it reloads way fast. And then on top of that, we have double unflinching pulse rifle aim because I just wanted to make sure that I could really get as much stability on this thing as possible and keep going. And you'll see I have 87 stability. I also have the frame on it. When I put it in the forge, I put the extra 10 stability on it. So it's really good, 62 range. It does some great stuff. I'm going to show you the boots really here, and there's the bond. You can take a pause at any point if you want to go see those mods any more in depth, but with all that covered, let's go ahead and hop into the gameplay. So again, the whole point of this build is area denial and map control, and that's what it's immediately going to show you. My Child of the Old Gods flies across the map right there. You can see him doing work, and he actually gets a kill for me. Now, I decided to go push up because I want to try to get used to this new melee, so that's what I do. I shoot it in there and actually shot him away a little bit, but unfortunately, that new Titan Overshield was really good, and he was able to just run away. I saw they were capping A here. I had charge with light, so I was able to 2-burst that guy really easily. Unfortunately, he ran away, but I saw a perfect opportunity to set up my Empowering Rift, so that's exactly what I did. Shot my melee at that guy to ward him off, and luckily the team came in and helped, and we were able to just slap their entire team. Again, right here, took that guy out and saw a perfect opportunity. These lanes, you've got to put your Empowering Rift down and just get ready, because when somebody peeks for the first time, you're going to be able to send out your Child of the Old Gods, just like this. Look at my Child of the Old Gods, it's going to fly all the way over there, and now the entire area is going to get locked down if they decide to come in there. It's such a good tool, and when you have the Empowering Rift on, what it's going to do is any damage it causes, it's going to return that to you as health. If you have a Healing Rift on, it'll return grenade and melee energy to you. But that's why I wanted to try to pair it with the Empowering Rift. And you can see right there, I shoot the first guy, my Child of the Old Gods flies all the way over there, take the second guy out, and those ticks of 11 you're seeing right there is my Child of the Old God ticking damage on the enemy. So I take him out, and I decided since my Child of the Old God was taking damage on somebody, I'll just rotate inside, come around, and try to get a shotgun play, and that's exactly what I do. Unfortunately, I whiffed my shotgun, but with the new melee, it tracked right onto him and took him out for me. Now here's a good example of how good these Chaos Accelerant nades can be. So I charge up my Vortex nade and throw it. Now when you do throw your Vortex grenade, it's going to do a little suck. Like it sucks in the enemies around it, so it's really good. So I sucked in 2 guys, and I was actually able to get 2 assists there. This is a pretty funny clip because I get stuck inside here and these guys are just rushing me, so I charge up a Vortex nade right here and this guy rushes me and takes it straight to the face. I take him out with a shotgun shot and then the other guy rushes and I take him out as well. Luckily my teammate had a Healing Rift on me, so I knew I could face off with this man and take him out, so that's exactly what I did. Now there's a lot of people up near the middle top, so I knew I could peek them, so that's exactly what I did as well. I took this guy out with one last shot and his buddy decided to jump right into me, so I taught him a lesson about doing that. Now I saw a radar ping over to my right, so I started taking some shots, but he put down that new Titan shield, which again, it gives a full over shield, and it's really strong. I started facing off with him, but unfortunately I made a mistake of not shooting at the correct place where he kept re-peeking, so that got me screwed over. But my Child of the Old Gods did take on him and take him out, so that's pretty funny. This was a great start. This match had just been starting, so I put down an Empowering Rift and just started firing down lane. My Child of the Old Gods goes in there, and you can see it taking damage, so I threw my Vortex nade in there too. It sucks them in a little bit and starts grinding damage out until I pick that kill up. Now some other guys are pushing to my right, I saw them on the radar, so I used one of my favorite rotation spots, which is right above me here, blinked in, and took both these guys out for a great start to the match. Now, later on in the match, I had to put a rift down right here because I saw them rushing us today, and that's exactly what happened. So I started taking them out by just firing down lane. Now this has great range on this pulse rifle and a really good rate of fire too. It's an adaptive frame, so it's going to be very sturdy as well, which means high stability, not much recoil. It's very good, and it honestly has pretty good hip fire, as you can see right here when I get this last kill. The hip fire is pretty solid, and if you're ever in a need to use the hip fire, I would recommend it. Now you can see right there, I threw that what used to be called a Slova bomb. I'm not even going to call it that anymore because it went pretty quick right there. I don't know if I have too many more of them in this video. I don't use that super too much even when I have it on, but they're zooming, I swear. Now right here, I started getting shot in the butt a bunch, so I blinked out and luckily lived with a sliver of health. I decided I needed to see where this guy was coming at, so I used my rift so I could 3-peek, and then I blinked out. And again, the hip fire on this pulse rifle is really good. It helped me take him out with one last shot. Now I had my Child of the Old God, so I slid in here, took this guy out, and my child actually flew up right there, you can see. But since it didn't have an enemy to go to because it was dead, it stopped on the wall. The start of this clip really shows off that hip fire again. I just backpedaled on this guy and took him out. I probably should have switched to my shotgun, but I just decided to do the backpedal with the hip fire because I wanted to try that aspect of the gun out. Now I set up an Empowering Rift here and just started taking shots down lane, which caused my Child of the Old Gods to fly down lane and set up camp. Now you're going to see it start ticking on an enemy, and actually right before I could shoot that guy, the Child of the Old Gods took him out, which is awesome. Again, I shoot that guy, so my child's going to fly out there and set up some camp. I think the enemies did shoot it, but I threw out a Vortex nade, and this guy had to jump up, so I was able to take him out really quickly. Now, unfortunately, I did not notice this guy flying up on me from the right, and he was almost able to kill me, but I used my new melee and knocked him up, and he flew around the corner, and I took him out with a nice shotgun shot. You gotta be aware of that new melee, it's really powerful. Now, the enemies were stuck in their spawn here, so I was just taking shots down lane, and this is part of the playstyle I love with pulse rifles, is when you can really just get them stuck somewhere and just take them out so easily. Especially when an Empowering Rift like this, they just got trashed on. Unfortunately, I started taking shots here and this guy was getting away with 1 HP, and then their whole team peeked me at one time and absolutely decimated me. But my teammate got a nice super and took a couple of them out, so that's nice. I just picked up power ammo at the beginning of this play, so you can see this heavy machine gun a little bit. I mean, look at that. It's a fun one. It shoots crazy fast, and I really enjoy it. Starting into this next play is something I want to show off. I imitated a hunter jump here by going above this doorway and taking this guy out, and he was completely unsuspecting of it. It's a tip that I have for a lot of people, so always make sure you're keeping that in mind. Now again, I used our new melee here and flew that guy up into the ceiling and then took him out with a quick shotgun shot. My Child of the Old Gods deployed on that guy and I took him out with another shotgun shot, so the Void 3.0 was really paying off so far. Again, I shoot this guy and went back for some health recov, and my Child of the Old Gods went and just started sucking him, and I was like, maybe I'll just kill him, and it did end up killing him. I thought it was pretty funny. Starting this play off, I just threw a nice charge vortex, which absolutely smacked that Titan's shield, and I was able to take him out behind it really quickly. Hit that guy with my gun really fast, and he was dead too. Now that guy got absolutely dumpstered. I will say that's one problem, is I'll shotgun melee and I accidentally shoot the new melee and you don't get it recharged like you did with your old melees, so that kind of sucks and I keep doing that sometimes. Now, this was a really good play. I saw they were all spawning here and I got kind of behind enemy lines, so I decided, okay, I'm just going to set up shop here. So I waited for this guy, got a nice double tap on him, and then put down my empowering rift so that I could start setting up shop and waiting. And that's exactly what happened when this guy decided to peek me. I got some nice shots on him, and that caused my Child of the Old Gods to go out there and set up and hold down that hallway for me, which is really good. Now I got some good shots on that guy, but unfortunately I had to shoot his Child of the Old Gods first, or else it would have done a lot of damage to me. This guy decided to push up. I hit him a little bit and threw him back with the melee, and a teammate was actually able to pick him up, so that was nice. This guy started rushing me with some stasis stuff, but I was able to take him out pretty easily for a nice play. Now here I set up with my rift and charged up my vortex grenade, and then I threw it out and just started waiting. It's a great thing to do at the beginning of a match to really hold down a space, and that's what happened. This guy jumped in and got absolutely obliterated, and then I went back because I got shot really hard, and this guy was taken out by my Child of the Old Gods mixed with my vortex grenade. So you just gotta keep those things out there and they will really control the area. This is a good example of why we use the fragment that blows people up when they get killed by void abilities, because those guys just got decimated. I do want to mention you should keep in mind that this is a foundry weapon, so it does have a Suros foundry perk with it, and right there you'll see under my empowering rift I have Suros synergy, so every time you reload you're going to get a nice stability and I believe handling boost. It's really good, and if you can reload before a fight you're going to have crazy stability. Now I saw these guys on the flag here, so I overcharged a vortex and threw it down and was able to smack them incredibly easily. The range of it was the entire flag and more, so I was just decimating them. Now I had power ammo here, so I took this guy out really quick. I only had 7 bullets and not enough hit that I could take him out, so that was unfortunate. There was a Child of the Old Gods on me, so I slid out and was going to reposition really quickly. I threw down my own empowering rift, which gave me my own child, which was good because I was able to slide to the right really quick and do a nice shot, and it actually sent out my child, which trapped this guy where he was, and he didn't know what to do, and then my teammate cleaned him up. I didn't know he was going to die, so I blinked in aggressively, which ended up working out because the enemies were all over my teammates, and I was able to knock him to the wall with my new melee, and it was really good. We took them out easily. Now I was just taking some long range fights here because I had the gun. You can see the stability on this thing. Even in midair I was hitting him easily, and I don't even have Icarus on. So keeping that in mind, this thing has crazy stability. Now this next play I really want to show off. You can track the positioning of people so well with Child of the Old Gods. So it sets up here and it shows me the damage numbers on this guy. And since I saw the damage numbers, I knew exactly where he was standing, and he's a little slowed as well because of the Child of the Old Gods. So I went in aggressively with the shotgun and took him out incredibly easily. And right here again, my Child of the Old Gods is going to fly out, but this guy decides to rush me. That's why I like quick draw my shotgun, so I could take him out really easily. And then fly in, and my Child of the Old Gods is holding that guy in place, so I take him out. Then this guy flies in like a parrot with a golden gun, so that's kind of annoying, but hey, it works. I knew I could take this guy's shield out and him with it if I just took the 2 shots, so I did. Switched to my pulse rifle really quick and took him out easily. Now he had some teammates out here to the left, and that guy didn't even know what planet he was on, so I took him out really easily. Teammates took this guy alright before I got him, but I was able to flick behind me really quickly and take this other guy out with the last bullet and yoink that for my teammates in a trade. You can see the range on this thing is also pretty damn good. I took this guy out from across the whole map, and Eternity is the map I'm on right now, and it just came back, and I gotta say, I thought I really hated that map, but with this build, it's really good. You can see there the ability spam on Void 3.0 Warlock is insane and can do some crazy things. Now right here I was facing down this lane because again these pulse rifles and especially the Syncopation is so good for these mid to long range engagements, and I've really been loving it. I charged up a vortex and threw it out there to get some area denial, and I shot my Child of the Old Gods out there too for some more area denial. Unfortunately I lost that gunfight, but you'll see my Child of the Old Gods here ticks on that guy, my teammate takes him out, so that's really nice. Now again, I threw in the charged vortex here, which does a huge radius. I was able to kill that Titan with it, and it was hitting a Warlock the entire time, until I blinked in and took him out too, and even shut down his super. Now right here again, I used the charged vortex to block off that doorway so nobody can peek me, and since I knew I was safe from the peek, I was able to shoot down straight at A without worrying a single bit. So it's really good to use that to block off entrances. Now I do want to mention something I've excluded up to this point, which is the mod I'm using on my pulse rifle, which is the full auto retrofit. I haven't seen a lot of discussion about this, and in fact I almost never see other YouTubers and content creators talk about this, but it's a really good mod that they introduced a little while back on sidearms and pulse rifles, and you can fully automate your rate of fire on those weapons, and it's really good. So this entire time you see me shooting my pulse rifle, I'm just holding down the trigger. I never have to keep clicking repeatedly. And this is especially good on something like the Darkest Before. I love it. A rapid fire frame pulse rifle, because it's shooting fast as hell, and you don't want to be clicking that entire time. You're gonna break your mouse or your controller. So I would highly recommend, if you're using pulse rifles or a sidearm, trying out the full auto retrofit. It's a great mod, and I don't think it gets enough credit or people talking about it. I think it kind of got released and Bungie didn't talk about it that much. People just kind of forgot about it. But you can see I have more bullets than these guys have brain cells here, and they just kept like running at me, so I just fired down lane. Of course, the second I put down my rift is the second they stop pushing, but this is where this build really shines, is just taking these long lanes like this and just taking the enemies out. And again, they run out of their spawn and they just run right here, which is, I don't understand how we lost this match. Like, these are the teammates I get. You see me going off like this, I go on like a 13 streak right here, and my teammates died somehow enough that we actually lost the match. It's incredible to me. But what are you gonna do? That's just matchmaking, I guess. I still had fun. I love my child. I think I'm gonna name him Clarence. That's an intimidating name, right? Well, either way, Child of the Old Gods is a great aspect. The lockdown potential it has is amazing, especially mixed with an overcharged vortex grenade. I can't wait to see what kind of impact it will have on something like Trials. We'll just have to wait and see. If you enjoyed the video, then consider leaving a like, comment, subscribe, and hit the notification bell if you want to know when I upload in the future. I'm working my butt off to get daily uploads out to you guys, and I will continue to do so as long as possible. For now, it's Clarence's bedtime, so I have to go. Have a great day, Guardians.